In 51 through 56, find all values x equals c so that the tangent line to the graph of f of x at c f of c will be horizontal. The biggest thing that we need to know is if the slope of the tangent, or if that's not right. If the tangent line is horizontal, then the slope of the tangent line is what? The tangent line's horizontal, then what's its slope?
0.
0. Now, f prime of x is the slope of the tangent. Now, I'm going to use 3 dots. Anybody know what those 3 dots mean in mathematics? Therefore, that probably should be one word. Therefore, f prime of x equals 0. That should be one word, therefore. Therefore, f prime of x equals 0. So now, this is going to be chapter 3. Take the derivative, set it equal to 0, solve for x. Now we have to simplify. That's what chapter 3 is all about. So here we go. Find the x values where the tangent line is horizontal. So what I need is f prime. F prime, this is product rule coupled with chain rule. So it's the derivative of the first, that's just power rule, times the second, plus the first times the derivative of the second. Now, the reason why I did that is because that's chain rule. That's going to be a more complicated derivative. So this is 3x squared times 2x squared plus x minus 3 squared plus x cubed times 2 times the blob times the derivative of the blob. That's chain rule. Blob to the 1 power. Derivative of the blob is so this is 3x squared times 2x squared plus x minus 3 squared plus x cubed times 2x squared plus x minus 3 to the 1 times the derivative of 2x squared plus x plus minus 3 is 4x plus 1. Unfortunately, we have to simplify. Nice thing is I've got a greatest common factor of this thing and a greatest common factor of x squared. Otherwise, this problem would frighten me. Well, it might frighten you already, but so x squared times 2x squared plus x minus 3 to the 1, because the smallest power is that. Now, I'm taking I've got a 3, I'm taking the x squared, I'm taking one of these two, leaving one behind, plus, I'm taking an x squared, I'm leaving a 2 behind, and this is going to be 4x plus 1. X squared times 2x squared plus x minus 3 times 6x squared plus 3x minus 9 plus 8x squared plus 2x, x squared times 2x squared plus x minus 3 times 14x squared plus 5x minus 9 and we're going to set that equal to 0. That's as best I can do in simplification. This says that x squared equals 0. This says that 2x squared plus x minus 3 equals 0. And 14x squared plus 5x minus 9 equals 0. This is easy enough. That's x equals 0. This factors into 2x and 3, x and 1. And I need a plus x in the middle, so that x is negative 2/3, x is 1. Believe it or not, this factors, and if it didn't factor, I would then move on to the quadratic formula. 14x and 5, that's not 5, 14x and 9, because when I subtract I get 5, and x and 1, and I need a plus 5. No, so this is minus, this is plus, this is minus. So that x is 9/14 and x is negative 1.
For the first one, wouldn't x equal negative 3/2 instead of 2/3?
Yep, negative 3/2, you're right. So, you can make your list of x values down the side of this chart. I'm going to leave this here so, because you guys are still working on it. X equals 0, x equals negative 3/2, x equal 1, x equal 9/14, and x equal negative 1. That's all they're asking for, the x values. So that would be your answer. Would be this right here. I'm screwy enough to ask you other things. Now, if you take your calculator, one thing that we do in college algebra is, when we are doing, is to put in the function. These are all the stuff that I've done in class. And there's the original function. So it's x cubed times 2x squared plus x minus 3 into your y. Make sure it's turned on. And you can turn these things on and off. Put it on top of the equal sign, press equal. If it's off, it turns on. Press enter. If it's on, it turns off. So you just want to have that one function up and running. Yes? No? Now I notice that my x values are all between minus 10 and 10. So I can do 2 zooms to get my graph up. So I'm going to do this thing off of a graph. So I'm going to do just a zoom standard, a zoom 6. Now the window on zoom standard goes between -10 and 10. So certainly my x values will run correctly. So if I want to get the y values for those x values, all I need to do is do trace. That puts me onto the graph. Well, that gives me 0, 0 already, but if I start put in x equals 0, if you notice I type the number 0, the y goes away. What it does, it takes x equals 0 and puts it into the function. So it's doing 0 squared times, it's doing 0 cubed times 2 times 0 squared plus 0 minus 3, the quantity squared. So it's literally putting in x, and when I press enter, it gives me the y value from the graph. So the y then would be 0. Now as long as I don't do anything more, I can do it again. -2, 3 divide 2, and that gives me 0. As long as I don't do anything, I can do it again. 1, enter, that's giving me another 0. These guys happen to be x-intercepts. Then 9/14, so 9 divide 14 gives me 0.622, 0.6224. We'll go ahead and just leave it that way. And -1 gives me -4. So now I have all of the y values calculated out. So if I want to write them as coordinate points, this would be 0, 0, -3/2, 0, 1, 0, 9/14, 0.6224, and -1, -4 as coordinate points.